Live from San Diego, California, this is the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans, by the fans. With Josh Taylor, Justin Smead, Jason Eidsmo, and Mike Maciejewski, we're talking Chargers, Padres, and Aztec sports. It's time to let your voice be heard. What's up, all you San Diego sports junkies? This is a show for fans,
by the fans.
And this is Raiders week. Chargers are up there in the black hole. You know, for those of you that haven't been following in, we got a couple things going on today. Kendall Reyes signed football is up for grabs. For those of you who have already become a member on our website, SanDiegoSportsJunkies.com, you can also follow us on Spreaker to gain another entry. You can also comment on our articles, join this chat room, and join the chat room on Wednesday. And for every time that you join one of these activities, you will be entered into the drawing. So I believe you have a maximum of about 6 opportunities to have your name thrown in a hat. Next Wednesday, we will draw that name.
Is it going to be Wednesday we're going to do that, or is it going to be next Sunday?
Next Sunday against Kansas City, and you will find out if you are the winner. So we wish you guys good luck, and let's move forward. Also, we have a live forum for today's Chargers-Raiders matchup. So go to SanDiegoSportsJunkies.com/forum and join the conversation as well for another chance to enter into the sweepstakes. You guys, let's dive into the injury report a little bit. First and foremost, out indefinitely is Ryan Matthews, Manti Te'o, Donald Brown, and Sharice Wright.
Have you heard anything more on Manti Te'o? I know that they're really they don't give out a whole lot of information on injuries, which I really actually enjoy. I like that. I would rather they didn't.
Right.
And at the same time, I want to know. Te'o's had that foot injury. Any idea what's going on with that? What his recovery is like? How long it's going to be?
I don't know. And like you said, with Mike McCoy, Tom Telesco and company, they don't give out a whole lot of information. They kind of keep it tight to their chest. But the one thing I do know is, no news is good news in my opinion. If it was something that was going to put him out for an extended period of time, or maybe not even see him come back this season, we probably would have already known about it. Consensus is with Ryan Matthews is that we will have him back by the Broncos game, but some people think after the bye week before we play the Oakland Raiders for the second time. So we got a call into the show. Mikey Maciejewski, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How's it going, guys?
Pretty good. So we were just kind of breaking down a little bit of the injury report.
Right.
Questionables, Malcolm Floyd, DJ Fluker, who practiced yesterday, Jarrett Johnson, Cordero Law, Rich Orenberger, who practiced all week, which is a pleasant surprise.
Yes.
Daryl Stuckey and Reggie Walker. It's kind of nice to see that the list of people coming back to play is longer than the list of people being injured and not being able to play.
That's funny you mentioned that. That's exactly what I thought, too. I thought, man, it's nice to see the guys returning, that list being longer than the ones that are out, because, I saw someone posted the injury report this week, and, man, that list was probably 2 to 3 pages.
Yeah, I wrote down all the injuries on my pad here, and it took up two-thirds of I went two-thirds of the way down the pad with everybody that's been injured.
Yeah.
And also I want to throw out there Keenan Allen and Jerry Atauchu, who are battling injuries. They are going to be a go for today. So I'm really excited to see Atauchu in there. Obviously, we have had some injuries in the linebacker position, with Manti being out. So it would be nice to see Atauchu out there because that guy wreaked some havoc.
Yeah, I think my biggest the biggest thing I'm happiest to see is the return of Orenberger, because I think our offensive line has taken a real big hit. And I worry about the depth in that area because, Chris Watt's still sitting there, and it seemed that the coaching staff's reluctant to put him in as a starter. So that's my area. I think linebacking, we're really deep, And I think even guys like Law showed that they can come up with the practice squad and right away make an impact. So my biggest thing is I'm happy to see Ornberger back because he brings a little bit more solidity to that position.
So, guys, we have Mike Maciejewski on the line. He is our lead editor and writer on SanDiegoSportsJunkies.com. Check out the blog, all of his articles. Great stuff. And especially check out the most recent article for the Kendall Reyes signed football. He explains in detail everything, every opportunity you have a way to win. And first and foremost, the return of the Bad in the chat room. Thanks for joining the show. You have been entered into the Kendall Reyes sweepstakes, so we appreciate that. Mikey, as far as, this is the first of 3 divisional games in a row. Obviously, we're playing the Oakland Raiders, which, it's kind of lost its lackluster over the last few years.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, it used to be a big deal. Now it's just kind of more for bragging rights for the fans. Like, okay, stop talking about your crusty old rings that you went on live to see. I actually looked it up. The last time the Raiders won a championship was 1983. So if you're under 30, you've never seen the Raiders win a championship. So stop talking under 30 Raiders fans.
That's a great point, because when you have arguments with them, the first thing they say is, "What about our rings? What about our rings? What about our rings?" But it's been so long ago. I think that after a while, you have to you can't use that anymore. I think that gets a little bit stale and old. Now,
didn't they they dig up that ring when they buried the football?
They found a lot of things there. They found Jimmy Hoffa when they dug up that football. So, I mean, like I said, just right now, again, that's my thing. It's funny to realize that. I mean, if you're under 30, shut up, Raider fans. You can't say anything.
Right.
If you're my age, 32, you were 2. You don't remember it. You didn't see it. So, but no, looking at the game this week, guys, looking at the offense, man, can you guys remind me how many teams are there in the NFL?
32. Is it 30?
32. That's 32. You bring the number up. Because that's the rank of the Raiders offense.
The Jets and the Raiders still count then, huh?
Yeah, I guess we are. Yeah. 32 is the rank of the Raiders offense in points per game, yards per game, and rushing yards per game. They are 32nd. Their passing offense is the standout on the offense. They're 25th, I believe, or 27th. So, offensively, the Raiders, I don't see how they're going to score. I mean, we thought the Jets were pretty anemic. The Raiders look like they're even worse.
I was listening to the NFL Network this morning, and, they give their bold predictions out. And Kurt Warner, his bold prediction is that the Jets were going to get shut out again by the Broncos, and the Chargers were going to shut out the Raiders. What do you think about that?
Way to go on a limb there, Kurt. Not very bold of you. Jeez, watch it come in sun's rising today, Kurt.
Right.
No, I mean, I actually, like I said, looking at those numbers and just doing a little research on the offense, we all know Jen Nikowski has a leg. He hasn't been the same in a while. He's actually fought through a lot of injuries during the preseason. And so, I mean, you can't expect him to come out here and hit a 55-yarder. But I believe Sperano's going to be a classy guy like Rex Ryan. And when they do get to field goal range and the game's out of hand, he's going to go for it. So I could see a shutout again. I really can, guys. It just depends how the game plays out. We'll see.
Now, what do you...
On offense for the
go ahead, Kale. Go ahead.
No, offensively for the Chargers, we're firing on all cylinders, and the Raiders have a horrible run defense, so I think we're going to see a steady dose of Brendan Oliver. My bold prediction is he's going to run for 150 today, guys.
Wow.
Not total, run.
I'm glad you say that. Brandon Oliver named Pepsi Rookie of the Week after his performance against the Jets with 180 all-purpose yards. I expect him as well to have another big game, and that's why I put him on 2 of my fantasy teams. But as far as the Chargers offense, one of the things that one of the Raider fans on our Twitter account was commenting on is that Mack was going to dominate our left tackle and get to Phillip Rivers. Have you seen anything about Mack yet?
Yeah, I haven't heard. He's probably the second biggest name out of the University of Buffalo behind our Brendan Oliver.
That's right.
I like that.
But, again, most of my experiences watching Mac were in the Idaho Potato Bowl against San Diego State, and he was neutralized there, guys. I don't know how you expect him to come in when he couldn't dominate a shoddy San Diego State offensive line and come in and dominate Team Dunlap. If that's what the Raiders are banking on, then I think they have a lot of problems.
Well, the Raiders have a lot of problems anyways. Now coming into this game with the new coach and with the new, the new attitude maybe that he's bringing, if they're going to ever win a game or if they're going to ever, improve their play, this has got to be the game that it happens, right? I mean,
they play the Jaguars later, so there's always an opportunity there. But the only thing is, it's funny you mentioned the attitude they bring, Jason, because the attitude is, let's hide the ball so the Chargers can't find it and they can't play this game. That's the attitude that I see. And if you guys want, don't look good on it. It's okay.
And you know what? We don't have to worry about electrical problems since it's a day game. The game's going to play on time. What about on the Raiders' offense? What on the Raiders' offense should we be concerned with? Obviously, rookie Carr, he's back in action. They say he's got the tools to be a good quarterback moving forward. The key is, can they put pieces around him and can he stay healthy? What should the Chargers be worried about as far as the Raiders' offense?
Yeah, Carr looks like he's starting today, and again, that's their best offensive weapon is passing the ball. It's skewed a little bit because most of the yards come in garbage time when they're down 20 and their team's playing prevent defense. But actually, the player that I'm worried to watch a little bit is Vincent Brown. I mean, it's a personal thing for him, and we know how that goes when a team faces their former team. You saw what Steve Smith did to the Carolina Panthers. I'm not saying Vincent Brown's going to go off for 170 yards and 3 touchdowns. But he's going to have a decent game, I think, because, it's a personal thing.
Vincent Brown did show up on the injury list with a hamstring, and now he's questionable. I don't know if you saw that or not. I know that doesn't seem like him at all. He never gets hurt. But so it'll be interesting to see if he even plays. We're talking about how bad the Raiders are playing this year and stuff, and a couple people, the Return of the Bad and Darren, both in the chat room, are mentioning, shutouts are tough in the NFL. Raider Hater says, you only need a field goal to prevent a shutout. And then Darren even says shutouts in the NFL are the football equivalent to a no-hitter. I mean, are we realistic thinking that the Chargers are going to actually shut out another team this year? I know we're talking and we're being funny and stuff, but do you really think the Chargers are going to shut the Raiders out?
I really think that if they are going to shut out anybody, it's the Raiders. The Raiders are tailor-made to get shut out by the Chargers. Like I said, their best offense is passing the ball. Our cornerbacks have played amazing this year. The place I think we're more susceptible is in the run. If they have a running back that can run and pound up the middle. And the Raiders don't have that. They have Darren McFadden and Maurice Jones-Drew, who are both shells of what they were one day. So I think if it's going to be against anybody, it would be the Raiders. I'm not sure it's going to happen. Like I said, if it would have happened, I would say it would be this week or in San Diego. But like I said, depending how the game goes down, they get a bullshit pass interference call in the first quarter.
Right.
They break a big run on a missed tackle or something. They put themselves in position for a field goal. If it's early enough, they will. But if we can play dominant like we did against the Jets, there's no reason we can't shut them out.
All right, Mikey, it's prediction time, buddy. So first and foremost, just to let you know, through the first 4 weeks, the Raiders have put up 14 points against the Jets, 14 against Houston, 9 against New England, and 14 against Miami. So what is your prediction for today's Chargers-Raiders matchup, and who is your player standout?
All right, so my player standout, like I mentioned, I think it'll be Brandon Oliver. I mean, this is his time to shine again. This matchup is made for him, even on dump-off. But like I said, I think he could approach 200 yards today, total yards. I got the score being 31-3 Chargers. I do think they get the field goal. I think they get it early in the game. But then we toughen up and shut them down the rest of the day.
All right, guys, you've heard it from Mike Maciejewski, a.k.a. the Kevin Acey of San Diego Sports Junkies. Hey, Mikey, we appreciate you joining the show, man. Have a good day, and go Bolts.
Hey, man, thanks, guys. See ya.
Later, buddy. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Justin Smead, the other half of the San Diego Sports Junkies, going to talk some Chargers defense right outside the break.
Okay, you fantasy football players of San Diego, you know what time it is. It's your time on the Fantasy Corner of San Diego Sports Junkies. I'm your host, Steve-O, and thank you for tuning in every Wednesday to enjoy some fantasy football smack talk with myself and the rest of the Sports Junkies. Now that preseason's over, I encourage you, our valued listener, to tune in weekly for your starts and sits and my sneaky free agent pickups of each week. So throughout the week, hit me up on Twitter at FantasyCorner17, or you can email me at thefantasycorner17@gmail.com. And always stay locked in Wednesdays on the Fantasy Corner at www.SanDiegoSportsJunkies.com/fantasy. Bring it.
But they can't get me down. I got my own self by my side, and mentally we gotta be free. I see the wickedness coming.
Do you need help with your business project that is due? Maybe you need business cards to help your business stand out. We at San Diego Sports Junkies got you covered. SK Digital Imaging can do it all. Give our buddy Sean K a call, 858-408-0732. SK Digital Imaging. From business cards to the bigger projects, SK Digital Imaging and our buddy Sean K will get your printing done right. All right. We are back and better than ever. We have Mr. Jay Smeater on the phone line with us to talk some Chargers football. What's up, Justin?
What up, dudes? How you doing?
Good, buddy. How you doing this morning?
Good, man. Just a little tired. I got home late. That's why I couldn't make it down in the studio. But, I'm here for you. I'm on the phone.
Absolutely, man. So, first and foremost, we're going to be talking some defense on this side of the break. What, in your opinion, the Chargers, obviously they shut out the Jets last week.
Right.
As you may have heard in the first half of the show, Mikey thinks there's a good possibility that we can do the same against the Raiders. What's your perception of this game? Are you concerned in any way? Do you think this could be a potential shutout? What's your thoughts?
Well, I think, for one, Kevin Acey's smoking crack this morning, and I don't know what it is, but it's good stuff. Second of all, this is a division game. We got to remember that. Let's pump the brakes, as we say around here. This game could turn into a laugher easily. I see that happening. I could see a potential of them hitting a few field goals, maybe one touchdown. But other than that, no. The defense has been riddled with injury. We know that. Just looking at the injury report, obviously it's a scroll list long. It extends out to Coronado Bay. So for me, the one that stands out, not playing today, is Sharice Wright. Now, I don't know if that changes up until game time, but for what I see, he's ruled out. That's a big question to me, because the secondary's fine. Flowers and Verrett can hold their own, but the only thing that I'm worried about is the rookie getting out of the pocket and making a few plays with his legs and his arms. So for me, it's the cornerback position. If they play well today, I think the overall gist of the Charger defense will be just fine.
That's always my concern when you got a rookie quarterback in there. It seems like they want to maybe run a little bit more. The one advantage the couple advantages. Number one is the fact that our defense is really, really good. But the second advantage is the fact that Derek Carr, he's actually coming off knee and ankle injury, so that might possibly limit his mobility out of the pocket, and he might try to stay in the pocket a little bit more, which of course will just play right into the Chargers' hands.
Right, because, you look at the Raiders, I don't know how they could be worse than us with the rushing attempts and yardage. I know Brandon Oliver had that good game last week, but they're 32nd. They're pretty much dead last in rushing yards. So, for me, don't let Jones-Drew and McFadden get into a rhythm.
Right.
They're going to be double pumping those guys, doing what they can to just maybe grind out a few yards. So it's easier for the young rookie quarterback to make a play-action pass. That's what they're going to do. It's going to be play-action passes, roll out, and hit the dumps off to the tight ends. They're going to be focusing on. You can watch from the get-go. The Raiders will be focusing on the edge with their tight ends to try to get David Carr comfortable. That's what they like to do with rookie quarterbacks. That's what I would do. I'm just a fan, but for me, it's just contain Derek Carr. The rest will play out. The Charger defense is just too good.
And Darren makes a prediction. He thinks that two picks from Hillcrest. What do you think about that, Jason?
Well, first of all, I love the prediction because I'm a big fan of Marcus Gilchrist. I still don't know why you guys hate Marcus Gilchrist and you guys love Brad Sorensen. I just don't get it.
Hate's a strong word, man. Hate's a strong word.
I don't hate anybody that wears the blue and gold first and foremost, but it's just with Gilchrist, the fact that he's had so many opportunities to get his hands on the ball and he just can't come up with anything. He's really got stone hands. Darren, I hope you're right, man. I hope he can come up with a couple picks today. I think we want to keep the momentum going as far as the turnovers. The Chargers have turned over the ball an average of 2 a game, through the first 5 games of the season.
Created turnovers.
And yes, and we need to continue that momentum with a couple picks, maybe a forced fumble today. Because getting the ball back to Phillip Rivers, it only bodes well for this Chargers team to put the game away early.
Yeah. Hey, what stands out to me is looking at the Raiders' schedule and just seeing the final scores. I know they're not indicative of what really happened in the ball game, but when you see 30 points being put up in 2 out of the 4 losses for them, and them only getting 14 points as their highest output this year, that just really stands out to you. And for a team that's already struggling with turmoil and head coaching change, you can throw all the hoopla about a new coach coming in here and rejuvenating a franchise. You don't bury footballs to rejuvenate franchises. I'm sorry. The thing to me is you got to go play fundamentally sound. The Raiders are going to bring it all day long today, no matter what, because this is their Super Bowl. So just go out there, play fundamental football, and this game is in the bag. And I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to blow them out like Mikey did, but it should be a comical ending to this thing.
Well, yeah, they might get a little bit of garbage points at the end, but with their maximum output this year, like you said, being 14 points, none of those teams that they have played this year have the defense anywhere near as good as what the Chargers defense has been playing like this year, and even with the injuries. So,
right.
As worried as I am, because
Houston's pretty good.
Oh, okay. Well, Houston has a really, really good player. They have the best defensive player in the league. But let me tell you something. I watched that game. J.J. Watt was all over the field, making plays all over the field. But guess what was happening? They were still giving up points. He'd make his play, and he'd do this great thing while they're getting driven down on, So Houston has a great player. Maybe when Clowney comes back, they'll be even better. But you take him, you can say this about a lot of teams, but you take him away and their defense is crap,
Yeah,
so
you're right.
I have a hard time seeing the Raiders. Now, it is a division game, and I'm worried and all that type of stuff, but it is hard seeing the Raiders score more than 14 against the Chargers, and I can't see the Raiders holding the Chargers to less than 14 points. How?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So, Justin, on the flip side, really quick, the Raiders on defense, is there anything, Khalil Mack is one guy we talked about already, and you can give us your opinion on him. Who poses the biggest threat from the Raiders defense to the Chargers offense?
Well, it's definitely not Charles Woodson who came out last week and said that they suck and this franchise sucks and he sucks and he sucks to be a part of this whole thing. So for me, I don't know what they're doing on defense. You can name some old vets, Justin Tucks of the world. There's nobody over there besides Khalil Mack that's got that wow or interest factor for me. When you have an older Charles Woodson, I think Keenan Allen has a day. If he goes today, I hope he does. I think he has a day against Charles Woodson. I really do. I look for that matchup all day long. I think you're going to get those quick curl under routes. As far as the Raiders as a whole, like I said, Josh, I don't see anybody over there posing the biggest threat. I know they're going to swarm to the football today because they know we have trouble running. So just be particular of that and be conscientious of that, because if they're gonna exploit one thing, it's the fact that we can't run the football, and that we did it against the Jets, but you got to prove it again. You got to do this week out basis in the NFL. So we do those couple things: run the football, get 2-3 yards of carry, set Phillip up for a third and short, and we'll be just fine. Raiders, they don't have anything to bring on that side of the football.
Hey, first and foremost, I want to give a shout-out to Tony Rowe, a new follower on Spreaker who has joined the chat room. Tony, you have been entered in the Kendall Reyes sweepstakes, so welcome to the show. Feel free to let your voice be heard with any comments in the chat room. Justin, I tend to agree with you. I mean, the Raiders are very aged. They're one of the oldest, if not the oldest team in the NFL. So I think, just like we say each and every week, it's huge for the Chargers to get out early, get to a big lead. You put the ball in Carr's hands with this aged, roster. I think again it bodes well for the Bolts.
Yeah, definitely, John. You hit it on the head, man. It's just go out there and play Charger football today. Don't take this game lightly. It's a division game. Anything can happen. We know that. We've been through this scenario before. Just go do your jobs, and the Chargers will get a victory today.
So what about another Fluker slam? Do you think we see anything like another DJ Fluker slam like we did last year in the Black Hole?
I think he's going to breast out the people's elbow this week. He's going to lay the smack down.
So
it'll be fun.
So Tony in the chat room, he said he's excited to see the Oakland Faders get their faces planted, and I couldn't agree more. We asked Mikey the same question. Do you believe the Chargers-Oakland game has kind of lost its lackluster since the sheer fact that the Raiders haven't been anything sneezing a quality team in the last 12-plus years?
Sure, it's lost luster, guys. We know that. But, when we went to that stretch when LT was here and it was, 11 straight or something ridiculous like that, that's what 8 seasons, or I don't even know. I'm bad at math. But that's a lot of time to be getting your ass kicked up and down the field. It's lost its luster. They need a quarterback. They need franchise direction. They have none of those things right now, and they're in turmoil once again. This rivalry will never be renewed until they get some people in there that know what they're doing. And I'm for one and for that. I want the AFC West to be as strong as possible each week, week in, week out, because that just bodes well for yourselves and your team measuring sticks. So for the Raiders to be so bad for so long, yes, it sucks. Predictions: 28-9.
28-9. I wasn't ready for your prediction just
yet.
Jason was trying to be quiet about that, but we appreciate it, Justin.
We just learned something. You can hear us when I have the microphones muted, because
especially when we're sitting this close together.
I didn't even hear that. I was laughing. Man. That's really funny.
No, I was around the 30-point mark.
Give me the prediction again. I was laughing. I didn't even hear what you said.
I'm gonna go 28-9. I can see us putting up 30, but once you get into garbage time later in the game, if it's in cruise control, who knows what's gonna happen? So 28-9 is my score, guys.
Really quick, Justin, we got another chat room nominee, Mr. Bolt 709. What's up, Juan? Welcome to the show. Tony also has a question for us, and it's a fantasy. But he says, fantasy question, Romo at Seattle or Cousins at Arizona? That's a tough call. Those are two really, really good defenses. I would still think that Romo would have a better chance against Seattle than Cousins against Arizona, just from his sheer weapons. That's just my opinion. The Redskins have looked horrible.
I would check if Cousins for that Arizona game to see if Patrick Peterson's out again. I would take Cousins almost over Romo in that situation. Romo cannot play on the road for one, and then go into Seattle. I know they're 4-1, but you know the Cowboys. They lay eggs all the time, man. This is a dream they're living in right now. The
4-1 record and everything going on. I mean, they've been playing, pretty well. They had a little hiccup week 1, just like the Chargers did, and they've rolled off 4 in a row. Yep. But like you said, Seattle's a different animal. They're up in, Seattle with their 12th fan. So,
right.
As far as let's get back to the Chargers-Raiders game. Who are you looking to stand out from a defensive side? Jerry Atachu is back in the game. Jarrett Johnson's healthy. Cordero Law is healthy. Darryl Stuckey, Reggie Walker. Who do you think has the opportunity to really have a big game against Oakland today?
Well, Josh, glad you mentioned that because our injuries, right? We know about him. So the guy I'm looking forward to seeing this week is Jeremy Atachu back. I think he brings he brings a rejuvenation to the team, an energy level, and that's the good thing. We need him off the edge. We need him over there opposite end of Freeney, getting some pressures on third downs. Look for him to have 1 sack, a few tackles, and make maybe a couple big plays in the run game and stuffing it.
We got another follower in the chat room. We got Brandon in Portland. You can follow him on Twitter at Portland Bolt Fan. Welcome to the show. You've been entered in the sweepstakes. Darren says Jay Bell. I don't know what he's meaning by that. Joik Bell?
No, somebody asked in the chat room who to go with, Joik Bell, or I'm trying to see who else he wanted to see.
Oh, Joik Bell or Asiata. Okay. I would have to.
Asiata's losing carries to that Jerick McKinnon kid, too. You got to remember that. And Joik Bell, he's pretty much their featured back other than Bush, but Bush hasn't been playing very well.
I would definitely go with Joik Bell as well. Bush hasn't been playing well. He's also hampered by an injury, so I think Joik Bell is your best bet there. Tony makes a comment, Arizona has the worst pass defense. That's his argument on things, which, I can agree, but, at the same time, the Redskins haven't been very, very good. Justin, as far as this Chargers-Raiders matchup, the Bolts have been playing really, really well. Are you concerned at all that they're going to go up there and kind of trip over their own selves and make it a competitive matchup, or have we kind of moved on past that with this team?
Well, you know me, man. It's always about proving it. Prove it to me. And what the Chargers have done this year, they've gone on the road to Buffalo. They've proved it to me. They've had the Jets at home, number 1 ranked defense in football, rushing defense. They proved it to me. No, they don't lay an egg today. They beat the shit out of the Raiders. It might be rocky at first to get our feet solidly in the ground and get some things established, but I think later on in the football game, the Chargers take control. They keep the Raiders off the field. Philip beats up clock, and we put TDs on the board.
I like it, man. I like it. So, obviously you got your prediction. Brandon from Portland, he says the Tauchu's back today is huge. Freeney and JJ need to watch their early season reps, and I tend to agree a little bit. They are aged, especially Freeney, coming off the injury.
He's had the knee injury, and he's been playing a lot lately because we've been so thin. So it will be really nice to get a Tauchu back.
Guys, before we go, we want one last prediction from Justin as far as, who is your standout for today's matchup?
Well, no, like I said earlier, I've been kind of harping on it. Tauchu. So just look for him to have a big day opposite end, like what Brandon Portland was saying. Look for him to have a big day. You don't come off injury. This kid's been chomping at the bit to get back out there after his injury. So let's see him make some plays, fly around like he can, and Chargers get this victory, boys.
Right on, brother. We appreciate you taking the time to call into the show each and every week, Mr. Smead. We love your partake into the San Diego Sports Junkies.
Hey, thank you guys, and go Bulls, baby.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, guys. We're going to take a quick break. We come back, we got a special guest, Karen Kay, sports anchor from KLAA AM 830. You can follow her on Twitter at CoolKarenK. She's going to be joining the show on the other side of the break. Go Bolts!
To your hood, don't betray your roots. East, west, north, south, they gon' know your roots.
Okay, you fantasy football players in San Diego, you know what time it is. It's your time on the Fantasy Corner of San Diego Sports Junkies. I'm your host, Steve O, and thank you for tuning in every Wednesday to enjoy some fantasy football snack talk with myself and the rest of the sports junkies. Now that preseason's over, I encourage you, our valued listener, to tune in weekly for your starts and sits and my sneaky free agent pickups of each week. So throughout the week, hit me up on Twitter at FantasyCorner17, or you can email me at thefantasycorner17@gmail.com. And stay locked in Wednesdays on the Fantasy Corner at www.sandiegossportsjunkies.com/fantasy drink.
You need help with your business project that will do. Maybe you need business cards to help your business stand out. We at San Diego Sports Junkies got you covered. FK Digital Imaging can do it all. Give our buddy Sean K a call, 858-408-0722. FK Digital Imaging, from business cards to the bigger project. FK Digital Imaging and our buddy Sean K will get your printing done right.
Are you looking for a bar for your next sporting event? Come to Cali Comfort Sports Bar in the heart of Spring Valley, where they are passionate about sticking to the true barbecue tradition. Using their unique low and slow method, you are guaranteed great barbecue no matter what you order. From pulled pork to tri-tip, football to MMA, Cali Comfort is your one-stop shop for all your sports and barbecue needs. Find them online, CaliComfortSC.com. All right, guys, we are back, and we are better than ever because we have Miss Karen Kay, sports anchor from KLAA AM 830 in Anaheim. Karen, welcome to the show.
How are you?
Very good. How are you?
I am good. I'm sitting outside, beautiful Sunday, getting ready for some football.
Absolutely. Karen, obviously, as you well know, we've kind of not had enough female infusion into our show, so we're very excited to have you on. Obviously, this is a big matchup, for the Chargers-Raiders rivalry. It's kind of lost its lackluster a little bit. What's your feeling on this matchup?
Well, I'm really excited, but I always get nervous. Like I almost feel like I'm part of the team. And Philip Rivers said that the best thing when he was speaking this week, one of his press conferences, just saying how people are like, oh, this should be easy. It's the Raiders. They're 0-4. Tony Sperano is going to take over. Coaching. You never overlook a team like this. No matter what anyone says about this team, they're still an NFL team. They still have some good players on that team.
Absolutely.
I know they're winless. Yeah, they don't look good. So I feel nervous, but I don't know why I should feel nervous, but I do. But I'm glad that Philip said that, which he is so smart, and he always knows what he's going to say. But that is a dangerous team. Still 0-4 team, they're dangerous.
Hey, Karen, Jason here. We all know that Mike McCoy and Dennis Allen are friends, and with when you're friends, I know that if I coached a team and my friend coached another team, that'd be the most important win for me all year because you need bragging rights. However, now that Dennis Allen has been fired, do you think that him and Mike McCoy have been talking a little bit maybe this week?
That is an awesome question. I never even thought of that. 'Cause, you know, once you leave Oakland, and you guys know the list of what coaches they've done wrong and coaches they still may owe money, and it's not always pleasant to be there. And it's, you know, this one's prideful organization, and they are, it's a train wreck right now. They're a mess. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have chatted. Is it ethical? I don't know. I think that's a great question, and I wouldn't be surprised if they chatted.
You know, it's funny, you know, week to week, it seems like you see, you know, players getting released and picked up by the team that, you know, that team is playing against the following week to kind of get a little inside information. You know, so again, I agree with both of you guys. I think that there could be some of that going on. You know, Karen, on paper, it looks like, you know, it's a blowout, but what do the Raiders bring to the table that the Chargers should be wary of?
Well, Derek Carr, for sure, if he's healthy, you know, watch out for him. You know, just watching him in preseason, and he hasn't been awful. I think they need to just watch out for him. Obviously, this is our Chargers' first time facing him. If it were Matt Schaub, you know, they faced Matt Schaub. It didn't go well for the Chargers last year facing Matt Schaub, but facing Derek Carr, a rookie, you just, and then last year with Terrell Pryor, same thing. You just don't know what you're going to get. I don't know how healthy he is, but obviously he's the one to me that could have a big game for them.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Terrell Pryor, because last year we went in there and kind of laid an egg. I mean, the Chargers played horrible. The Raiders absolutely surprised us. He ran for, I think, well over 100 yards, I want to say, in that game. You know, Carr has a lot more tools to him. He's definitely more of a threat when healthy. Like you said, he is battling a knee and ankle injury, so I think his mobility is going to be suspect a little bit this week, something to watch out for. But as far as this Chargers team is playing this far in this season, I don't see a letdown in this game. The Chargers have been playing so well. They have not been playing down to their competition, which is something they have in the past. I really think that this is going to be a good game and another stepping stone to their bigger plans.
I hope you're right. I feel the same way. Absolutely. You know, you look at this team 0-4, and there's not many bright spots to look at when you look at the Oakland Raiders. If you're a fan or if you're just anybody that loves the NFL, I look at that team and I just think, my goodness, you know, another season of picking up free agents that haven't worked out for them, and, you know, your rookie quarterback gets hurt. And he has looked good, and then he has looked really well. In many instances, he's looked like a rookie.
Right.
Today, I'm hoping that's what we get from him today, because the Charger defense is impressing me more than it has in previous years. So hopefully today they can get to him.
And I'm glad you brought that up. Our chat room's kind of been going off a little bit.
Sorry.
Way to go, Jason. A little technical difficulties here. So back to the defense. You know, in the chat room, they just said they just heard that the Chargers haven't allowed a fourth quarter point since the Arizona game, and they've had 6 straight quarters where they haven't allowed a point. How much of that will continue into this game? Do you think that early on the Chargers are going to try to make a statement, try to get out to a big lead and keep points off the board, just to, you know, put it into the rookie Carr's hands late in the game, which I think is going to be very difficult against the stout defense?
There's just something about this team this year so far. They just seem to me really, really focused, and I don't think it matters where they go, because, you know, it's hostile. We've all been there. I don't know if you guys have been there. You couldn't pay me to go back to Oakland and sit there and watch a game. No way. And I just think for this team, they just are so focused. Not to say they weren't previous, but there's just something about this team. It doesn't seem to matter who they're playing, if it's the Seattle Seahawks or if it's a winless Oakland Raider team. I think they're going to have the same approach. And, yeah, if you jump out to an early lead and this defense showing what they've done this season, watch out.
I want to remind everybody we're talking to Karen Kay from AM 830 up in Orange County. What chances do the Raiders have of maybe getting their running game established here? I know that they've we didn't think that there's a team that was running the ball worse than the Chargers, and we realize that there is, and their name is the Raiders. Of course, with Derek Carr coming back, he's got the knee and the ankle injury. They're gonna try and establish the run. Do you think that they're going to have very much success with that?
I'm hoping not, but I absolutely agree with you. Watch that. I mean, we could be wrong, but I absolutely agree with you. I don't think they're going to come out throwing. I think they're going to try to get that running game going, and if not, they can be in a lot of trouble. But I think the Chargers are ready for that as well. They know that's what they're going to do.
Absolutely, and we got a question for you in the chat room. Justin wants to know, what do you think of the rookie Jason Verrett?
Love him. Love him. Was real happy when he was drafted. So, yeah.
Absolutely. He's played up to his potential. A lot of us in past shows we've talked about, when he was drafted, we were like, huh? This is the guy that this is the guy that we drafted. But he's
Did you guys have to go Google? Because I had to Google do a little homework.
Absolutely. We definitely did. We did a show during that whole draft, and it was literally silent. Like, if you go back and you listen to that show when that happened, there was like a good 5 seconds of complete silence. Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Okay, but were you guys like me? Because this was a really good draft. This was an exciting draft. Were you like doing some like who's available and like doing like some research on who and what they've done? And I did, and then just watching, like, obviously we all saw like the highlight reel of him, and then people saying, oh no, he's going to have an impact right away, just watch, and listening to people say that, and they were right.
Absolutely. We got another question in the chat room from our longtime listener, the Return of the Bad. He's also known as the Raider Hater. He says, does Karen expect another big day for Brandon Oliver?
You know what? Last week was blown away. If you would have told me that he would have had that game, yeah, I think you come off a game like that and you're feeling, confident. He says he's healthy, feels good. Why not? Why not make it 2 games? Why not? This could be. I know the Raiders are going to be ready for him. They watch what he did against the New York Jets. They're ready. But wow, yeah, I think that he's going to have another big game today, and another player for me who I think is going to have a really good game is watch out for Eric Weddle in the defense.
All right, Karen, we got another question for you, and this is kind of a little off subject, but what's the Chargers fan base like up in Anaheim? And the second part of that question is, do fans have a team that they prefer to come to L.A.? There's been a lot of talk about, one or potentially 2 teams coming to L.A. What's the fans' voice like up there in Anaheim?
I was because I when I'm not doing the sports radio thing, I DJ, and I was doing a party last night at Chili Cook-Off, and there were Raider fans there. And I'm so funny. Like, I tell my fiance Kyle, like, if I see someone in a Raider jersey, I get angry. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I really let them know, I'm a Charger fan. But the chatter I'm getting, I'm hearing, it's not the Chargers. I think people up this way, Anaheim and LA, pretty much think that it's going to be the Rams. I don't know what you guys are hearing.
I would hope it's the Rams. I want the Raiders to stay as far away as possible.
I agree.
They do have a huge following down here, and I think some of the Raider fans have kind of changed their colors and become Charger fans. I really do believe that. So I kind of hope that the Raiders stay up north and that stadium continues to crumble and they continue to be a lackluster, bottom-of-the-barrel AFC West component.
I agree with you, and I would prefer them staying up that far as well, because to hear them like that close to you remind you of what they've done 30 years ago. It's annoying enough, as it is, and to have them that close would just words can't describe.
Absolutely, Karen. So now this is the most difficult part of the show. We need not only your prediction, but who is your sleeper or player of the game for this Raiders-Chargers matchup?
I know it's obvious to say, like Oliver, it's obvious to say Phillip Rivers or Gates, but I think I mentioned his name already, and I don't think it's really a sleeper. I'm just so impressed with Eric Weddle again. And I've been kind of hard on him some games, but my goodness, he is the leader. He's even more mature than he was, and he's always mature in college. Just watch out for him to have a really big game today. And
then as far as your prediction for today's game?
Oh, my gosh. Are we giving scores or just who you want to score?
We're looking for your score.
Wow. I'm going to go 37-10.
37-10, and I'm assuming that is the Chargers that we're talking about.
Chargers, yeah, of course. And, of course, number 17, I think, that is just so focused and so and it's weird to see, like, all the articles about him, and people are saying MVP, and it's just, as a Charger fan, you're like, oh, we started off slow so many years, and to start off like this, and for him to look this good, we're just don't know what to think. But I just watch out for another big game for him as well.
Absolutely. One last opinion. Obviously, Brown, Vincent Brown was released, and the Raiders picked him up. Do you think there's any vengeance there? Do you think that he is going to try his absolute best to have a big game against the Chargers?
Yeah, that's a natural thing, and they also know it's a business, and it's good that he got a job because it's hard to get a job in the NFL when you get cut during the season. So, he knows it's a business. But, yeah, of course, he's going to have a little extra, like, okay, you got rid of me, well, watch me against you today. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that's a natural, reaction for a player that's nobody wants to get released, right, but he's going to try to probably talk a little smack and have a really good day today.
Right on, Karen. Hey, thank you for taking the time to, get up early with us and partake into our show. Hopefully we can have you on in the future. This is Karen Kay from KLAA AM 830 up in Anaheim. Karen, we thank you for your time.
Oh, and real quick, just all the people on Twitter that they know how much I love the Chargers, and any chance I can mention anything about them. I'm from Poway, and always lifelong Charger fan. And the fan base is incredible. Let's just focus on the win today and keeping that team where they belong in San Diego.
Absolutely, Karen. Thank you again for your time, and go Bolts.
Go Bolts. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks, Karen.
You too, you guys. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. So that was Karen Kay. You can follow her on Twitter at CoolKarenK. Guys, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little more about this game, answer some of your questions in the chat room, and give us our predictions.
With your business project that is due, maybe you need business cards to help your business stand out. We at San Diego Sports Junkies got you covered. SK Digital Imaging can do it all. Give our buddy Sean K a call, 858-408-0732. SK Digital Imaging, from business cards to the bigger project. SK Digital Imaging and our buddy Sean K will get your printing done right.
Are you looking for a bar for your next sporting event? Come to Cali Comfort Sports Bar in the heart of Spring Valley, where they are passionate about sticking to the true barbecue tradition. Using their unique low and slow method, you are guaranteed great barbecue no matter what you order. From pulled pork to tri-tip, football to MMA, Cali Comfort is your one-stop shop for all your sports and barbecue needs. Find them online, CaliComfortSC.com. All right, guys, we are back. Thank you all for joining in. And the chat room has been going absolutely crazy over the last, few minutes here, talking about our running back situation. The fact that, Brandon Oliver's been dominating.
One game, Brandon Oliver had a good game. Let's
pump the brakes.
I don't want to shit on
but
Brandon Oliver because I was very happy with the way he played. And honestly, when he was running before, he looked like he was running hard, and I was happy with what I saw. But let's be realistic here when we say dominating. He had one really, really solid game against a really good run defense. But unfortunately, and it's not just Charger fans, it's all fans. We and me and you and all of us at the Sports Junkies included, we tend to get a little bit overexcited when we see a good game from somebody. Let's not forget who carried us last year. Ryan Matthews. Ryan Matthews had an incredible year last year, and he ran the ball so hard, and he was so important, as was evidenced in the playoff game when he wasn't there, how much we struggled. This year we hadn't got the running game off the ground yet, which I think is more caused because of our interior offensive line right now, because nobody's really run good until Oliver ran good last week. But let's not, like we like to say here, let's pump the brakes a little bit. We learned that from Darren. Let's pump the brakes and realize that our best running back on the team right now is standing on the sidelines, and it's Ryan Matthews.
I tend to agree. From what I saw last year out of Ryan Matthews made me a believer. Yes, early on in the season, he did tend to fumble the ball. He was battling injuries. But once he got healthy, once he put it all together, last year he had a tremendous season. Unfortunately, again, he's battling another injury. So that's my only concern with Ryan Matthews. Can he stay healthy enough to be that productive back moving forward? Aside from that, I think Matthews, when healthy, is definitely the most talented back that we have. Brandon Oliver played extremely well last week. I expect the same this week against the Raiders. The Jets defense was, ranked number 1 going into that game, and we ended up putting 180 yards combined with Brandon Oliver. We got the new addition of Ronnie Brown. Ronnie Brown we got brought back from the Texans to kind of fill the role because we lost Donald Brown for a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what today will unfold. Will Oliver, continue to do what he did against the Jets last week? How much will Ronnie Brown be into the mix? He's got an extreme familiarity with this offense. So obviously, you expect those two to be your top 2 today, in my opinion.
Right.
And then we still have
Sean Drawn,
thank you. That is in the fold. We haven't seen enough out of him to really say that he needs to go once Matthews comes back. That's our assumption based on the way Oliver has played in the preseason and against the Jets, and obviously Ronnie Brown's familiarity with the offense. Ryan Matthews obviously is the key guy. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of run game goes against the Raiders this week.
Absolutely, and I think Ronnie Brown, I was very happy with that signing. He's going to be a third down guy. He's like we had said before, he's not going to really be that dynamic anymore, but what he can do is he picks up the blitz on third down, which is very important because with our running game struggling, we tend to get in a few more third and longs than we'd like to be, which seems to be no problem for Phillip because Phillip just finds Eddie Royal for the first down. But we need a guy that's going to be able to come in there and pick up that third down blitz and be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. And you're going to get something from Ronnie Brown. You're going to get somebody who is smart. He's a veteran. He runs hard. He's not going to be anything dynamic, but it was a good pickup. I think we're going to see him today. I have a feeling when all is said and done and the dust settles, Sean Drawn's probably the odd man out. He ran hard last week, the little bit that we did see him. But I think that Drawn's going to be the odd man out.
The return of the bad says Brandon Oliver and Ryan Matthews have 2 completely different backs, and we need them both.
Yes.
And I tend to agree with that. Jeff had commented in the chat room as well that let's be honest, as far as the production of our running backs, they definitely run better when our O-line plays well. And we talked about that in last week's show as well, that before the Jets game, our offensive line had to come to play because they were not opening up holes against in that Jaguars matchup.
Mm-hmm.
They needed to open up those holes so our running backs can get into that second level, make somebody miss, and get some yardage.
Yeah, and that's one thing we've seen from Oliver's. He actually has some pretty good moves, and he is able to make some people miss. He just needs to get past that first level. I want to take a second to thank SoCal Trev for joining us in the last 2 minutes of the show. That was awesome. He finally jumped in there.
Absolutely, SoCal Trev. Hey, better late than never, my friend.
So you've been asking everybody, so it's my turn to ask you. I want a prediction from Boss Josh. I need a prediction for the score and your player of the game. And just so you know, Green said don't pick him.
Well, good, because I have the Chargers winning 34-10, and I think it's going to be a repeat of last year, and I think Keenan Allen is going to have a big game. Keenan Allen, scored a touchdown, I think he had over 100 receiving yards last year against Oakland in the Black Hole, and I think he duplicates those efforts today.
My prediction, I have the Chargers winning 27-13. It's funny, of all the predictions we've taken, I have the highest score of us giving up. 27-13.
27-13, okay.
My player of the game, so badly after listening to Darren. SoCal Trav has 38-3. By the way, I saw that just come up. I so badly after seeing Darren talk about Gilchrist getting 2 picks, I wanted to pick him as my player of the game, but I want to be a copycat. So I'm going to take Jason Verrett, and I'm going to say he's going to have 2 interceptions today. I have a feeling that we're going to give up maybe a field goal early. We're going to get ourselves out to a lead, and then they're going to be passing the ball, and I think that our secondary is going to get a couple interceptions. I'd love to see any of them, but I'm going to pick Verrett.
Jeff in the chat room's got 41-12 Bolts. Brandon from Portland, he's got 2-2 with 2 touchdowns in garbage time.
Oh, okay.
I like that. And as you well said, hungover SoCal Trav is 38-3.
SoCal Trav also said, "Go Jets."
Go Jets.
Isn't his wife a Jets? Well, that's because they're playing the Broncos. But isn't his wife a Jets fan? I think that when we met
his
him.
wife is a Jets fan, absolutely. Yeah. Tony thinks it's actually going to be a game, 27-21 Bolts. It's not far-fetched to believe that this is going to be a game. We are playing a divisional opponent for the first time this year, so I would not be surprised at all, that it is a competitive game. You guys, as always, we want to thank you for tuning into the show. Chat room has been going crazy, as well as Twitter. So we want to thank all the fans from joining into the conversation. You have all been entered into the Kendall Reyes sweepstakes. We'll be raffling that off next Sunday during our morning show. So, guys, as always, we want to thank you for joining in the show. Let's hope the Chargers go up there and just absolutely dominate the Raiders. And before we tune it off here, we have a live game forum. San Diego Sports Junkies.com. Go to the forum. We're going to have a live forum chat, so let's continue this conversation in the chat room on the forum.
You'll also, anybody additionally who chats in that forum will also get another entry into the Kendall Reyes football giveaway. Also, I want to remind you all, for those of you who listen to us or find us on iTunes, go on there and rate us. The more ratings we get, the more chance we have of going up to the top when people search for us. And I know a lot of people do listen through there, so just take a second to rate us.
Absolutely, and don't forget to follow us on iHeartRadio. We're on iHeartRadio as well. The show does not stream live there, but it is there just like iTunes after our production ends. So, guys, as always, from the San Diego Sports Junkies, the show for fans.
By the fans.
We are out, gentlemen.
Go Bolts!
Thank you for listening to the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans, by the fans. Brought to you by Cali Comfort, home of the Low and Slow Barbecue, and SK Digital Imaging, with Josh Taylor, Justin Smead, Jason Eidsmo, and Mike Maciejewski. Subscribe to us on iHeartRadio, on Spreaker, and on iTunes. Visit SanDiegoSportsJunkies.com for all your Chargers, Padres, and Aztecs news.